The Dust Bowl, also known as the Dirty Thirties, affected the areas of Texas and Oklahoma and touched adjacent sections of New Mexico, Colorado, and Kansas. The Dust Bowl also came in 3 waves. The drought came in 1934, 1936, and lasted for a time period from 1939 to 1940.
This bowl was caused mainly by mistakes made by farmers. Overproduction of some crops caused the government to form the AAA. The AAA paid farmers to reduce certain crops, which resulted in unused land. The unused land had nothing to hold the soil in, so it simply blew away.
The drought arising around the same time adding to the devastation. The storms were called black blizzards or black rollers. The clouds of dust were so thick visibility was almost impossible and made breathing difficult.
Since breathing was so difficult during storms, people wore gas masks to try to filter out the air from the sand. Endless attempts were made to keep the dust out of homes. Wet strips of cloth were placed around cracks, like windows, to vent out some of the dust. Many farmers tethered ropes between the house and the barn for them to find their way back if a storm hit while they were doing chores. While the attempts helped, there was too much dust to avoid.
People would breathe in the dust, causing multiple health problems. Some even went blind if they were misfortunate enough to be outside when the storm hit. The amount of dust that people were inhaling was unimaginable. Dust gathered in lungs, causing the most damage in young children, the elderly, and people with asthma.
Along with health damages, many families were damaged financially. With all of the fertile soil blowing across the Great Plains, farmers were unable to grow crops. Some families packed up their things and moved west to California. By the end of the dust storms and the Depression, people were miserable. Many families lost loved ones and their homes.
During the Dust Bowl, people needed to save as many crops as they could. Jackrabbits were causing problems because they were eating the crops. To get rid of this problem, towns held things called rabbit drives. Rabbit drives were where jackrabbits were captured in pens and beaten to death with clubs and baseball bats.
We will now present a short video that has bits and pieces of people remembering the Dust Bowl and their experiences.
Let me tell you how it was. I don't care who describes that to you. Nobody can tell it any worse than what it was. That no one exaggerates that. There is no way for it to be exaggerated. It was that bad.
It was just unbelievable. It'd blister your face. It would put your eyes out. Well, I guess I can't describe it. It was just constant, just that steady blow of dirt.
As far as you could see, there was a dust storm coming right towards you. This giant wall just coming towards you. And you still had the feeling, whether you would admit it, that something was going to run over you and just crush you.
It was almost surreal. The dust. There's nowhere you can run. You can try to get out of it, but it's as if it follows you, follows you, follows you. You can't escape it. Looking back on it, I think it carried with it a feeling of, I don't know the word exactly, of.
The moral of our story is that you shouldn't take things for granted because it can be taken away right in front of you and there's nothing you can do about it. So keep your friends close and your families closer because you don't know when they will leave.
Thank you for watching.